beautiful day here at Green Road Garden, so I'm taking the opportunity to clear out one of my beds for the winter and show you what I do with that. So this bed was the bed that I had some of the peas in, and I've discovered I get huge value. It's one of the crops that I get huge value out of, peas, and especially the sugar snap ones. So I had lots of peas, and then any that were left we gathered on the seed saving class, so we'll have seed for next year. And what I've got to do now is pull up all these sticks that were supporting the peas, and the stalks of the peas that are left, that'll all go into the compost heap. And the twigs, if they're strong enough still, I'll use them again for next year. And I think as it happens, these ones are strong enough, so I'll use those again next year. So you just pull all those out, and you remember I tied up the peas with this green gut. So take the time, little bit of mindfulness, take the time to take this off because it's perfectly good still. If you use just jute twine, you can throw it into the compost heap. But this plastic gut that I use, it's wonderful stuff, and you can actually reuse it. So I'll take that off and keep it for next year as well. So all those twigs are still strong enough for next year, and I'm just going to pull them all out. So the weeds, depending on what they are, some of them will go into the compost and some of them will go over the abyss. So this one here is a willow herb, and there's lots of ripe seed on it. So that one I'll put to one side there, and that'll go over the abyss. But any kind of soft weeds, they all make very good and compostable material. So all of these, so long as they don't have a big, long, noxious root, like if you come across something like a dandelion or a dock leaf, those dig up with a trowel, get a trowel and dig them up. But there's nothing here that I have to go digging after here, so I'm just going to clear this off. And in fact, you don't even have to take them out. So I'm just taking out all the stuff there, and the bed actually is lovely and loose because of the roots of the plants that were here. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover the bed with compost for the winter and cover it with Mypex. And what that'll do is the worms will have a chance to work on the compost over the winter time, and they'll drag it down. And once the compost has been through the worm's gut, it makes the nutrients in it a lot more accessible to the plant. So this compost that I have here in the barrow, I would have made at the beginning of the summer, early in the spring actually. And I'm going to cover the bed, I've done this end of it here, I'm going to cover the bed with 2 to 3 inches. And the amount that you put on is dependent on how hungry the soil is really, so each year, if you're putting it on every year, you don't need to put on as much. So like 2 inches is plenty for me here. Now, you very likely won't have well-rotted compost. So what you could use in place of it, any of you that are lucky enough like me to live close to the sea, you can go and you can get seaweed. So like several times over the winter, the sea will offer up lots of seaweed to you, so you can use that. So there's my bed now covered with the compost. And then what I'm going to do here, I have it tacked down on the far side of the bed. So this is this Mypex that I have the love-hate relationship with, and I'm going to pin it down with little tacks called felting nails, and I'm just going to come over and show you those. So they're not even an inch long, and the beauty of them is that they have a big head. So if you're looking for them in the hardware, they're called felting nails. So I'm just going to tack the Mypex down here at the edge. Now it's, some people say, well, why cover it? But number of reasons that I cover it. One is that the blackbirds and things come and they keep scratching all the compost out on the ground. And the other thing is that the rain can wash away some of the nutrients, and the top of it can dry out and the worms aren't as inclined to come up and bring it down. So I find for all those reasons it's better to cover it with the Mypex. Now the Mypex lets a certain amount of moisture in, and it also lets the soil breathe, which is important. Now when you are hammering these nails, don't hammer them all the way home, because don't hammer them into the full depth, because you want to in the springtime to be able to come along with your hammer and pull it up like that, so you can take them out again and use them time after time. So you don't want to be battling with a nail that's driven right into the timber. So that's about it really. It makes it very easy when you come to the springtime, because all you have to do is remove this, and I will have my lettuce and things in little plugs started in the tunnel, and I'll just bring them out and plant them in, and they, the soil is just beautiful and soft, and you're not having to dig it. So give that a go, and check for the seaweed, and I'll come back to you soon. Bye.